So we started our son was sophomore, so we started kind of early. We knew college admittance was very different from when we had done it. We had no idea where to even start. I had a friend tell us about this college guy she was going to, and I'm like, there's such a thing. I had no idea. And as we started looking into it, we're like, this guy, we're going to be able to have all the guesswork taken out. We're not going to have to reinvent the wheel. So I saw, I had friends going through it at the same time. They were trying to figure everything out one step at a time. And if I could go to one person that would be able to have all the answers for us or help us find them, I was like, I am in. Like, it felt like a weight was lifted when I found out this service was even available.
Yeah, I think just because it had been so long since we'd been to college, and knowing in today's day and age all the different options that are out there and the difficulty it is to hear about people not getting into the colleges they want, and in our case, not our son not knowing where he wanted to go to school, so we really didn't know where to start as far as how do you apply, what do you need to do to get in, and just getting someone to help us understand all of that, and walking us through the process, and knowing that there's different stages and milestones, just because there's just so many unknowns out there, and you don't want to be the one that misses something and misses this opportunity just because you just didn't know what you needed to do.
Started early, and we wanted to start early just because sometimes it takes a little bit to light a fire under a teenage boy. So we started really early, so it wasn't super stressful because we didn't want it to be more overwhelming than the whole process already is. So we presented it to him. He said, absolutely not. And we kept saying, this is happening because for Dad and I, we don't even know where to go. So it was like, we tried to spin it like, this is for us at this point. We know it's early for you. And then as he started really kind of getting into it, as we started the whole process and all the different things we did, he was like, okay, this feels a little bit better. And he started asking questions, and doing the college tours wasn't so foreign to him. He's like, yeah, we should do that. And so we were able to do a couple summers of college tours. And it was nice to just take the pressure out of the whole thing. And knowing that he could come to one person for ACT prep and the essay writing and any other questions we had, financial aid, everything. He never would have picked the school he's at if it wasn't for this service, because he never would have even considered it. So there's so many options out there, and I think what he learned out of this is that there's a place for everybody. And we saw that too. And it's like, you always think like, oh, you can only go to these top 5 schools because they're the best schools in the country. But there's a million schools in this country that are really good, and you find the right fit for your kid. And once they find that, and you see how happy they are once they're there, it is worth any sort of stress that you have going into this, but you're going to get there. It's a nice reward.
Yeah, he definitely, he had no idea what he wanted to do. And we had all these questions. I don't think he had any questions as far as what he really wanted to do, but going through the process, it answered things proactively for him. So he was able to figure it out and go through it. And where he ended up and what ended up happening, had you said this is what's going to happen at the beginning, I would have said no way. We know it. Well, we don't know all the answers. We kind of have an idea what's going to happen, and it completely turned out to be something totally different than that, but the best option available for him and for us.
So college visits for us was it was kind of exciting for us because we both went to the same university, and it wasn't a thing you did back in the day. College tours weren't really a thing. And now it's important because there are so many different ways to feel comfortable on campus. And it could be class size, it could be how beautiful the campus is, what the buildings look like. And for our son, for the very first tours that we did, we said, I don't care if you like the school or not, if it's on your list, we're going to go because there's different sized schools, and we want you to actually experience what a smaller urban school could be or a larger university, so you can actually just get a feel if that's something you think you want to go towards, and it doesn't have to be on your list to choose from. So it was helpful from the fact that he was able to quickly see what he did and did not like out of the school, so it helped narrow down the process going forward.
Yeah, and I think it also, doing it early gave us an opportunity to spread it out just with schedules and, not having to make a whole, month or week long to try to hit all these universities, but just kind of spacing it out. That way it kind of gave us some time too. After we would tour, we could kind of discuss it. We could do some online research. We could kind of talk about, well, what did you like? What did you didn't like? And then as we prepared for the next one, it was kind of, oh yeah, that was kind of like that university, or this university had that feature that this one didn't. And it just kind of gave us a lot of time to really evaluate. And then, as like Kelly said, it was a lot of fun to kind of go through and kind of see all these different universities, and kind of, we made some vacation trips out of it, and just kind of really took our time. But it took a lot of that stress, because it wasn't like having to go find a university and all say, okay, do you like it, yes or no? We could take our time, make that decision, and kind of feel out what we wanted to do next.
Yeah, and with the busy schedules too. So we did we'd go online and book the tour, so we knew we could see everything we wanted to and ask the questions and hear all their discussions. So we had to do some pre-planning on that, and when kids are in sports or what clubs, whatever they're doing, but it's so hard to find a free moment. But if you get on the calendar and you make it a priority, it's just so much easier to handle. And if they get out of school for half a day, then it's even better for them. Big motivator. The cost of college really started for us with discussions when we would come in with our son and talk with Tom, and we had those heart-to-heart discussions, and just really, he kind of was able to lay things out very clearly, and it wasn't a scare tactic or anything. It was really just to say, this is what college costs at this point, and you need to have discussions as a family, like, do you have savings? Are you just planning to work? Are you expecting merit aid? Are you expecting scholarships? And to have our son to get engaged from that standpoint, because it's a huge amount of money for people to really comprehend. That you just don't get that's how you have to pay to go to class like that. So for us, having those kind of discussions, it helped open up discussions at home. So we could take what we were learning here, open that up home, do research on our own. Our son was able to see that you don't need to have the highest ACT score or the highest GPA to get into a school and still get merit aid, and that was a big deal for him, and scholarships. So the whole financial aid process and scholarships, I think as parents, is super overwhelming because there's so much information out there and there's deadlines you have to hit. But when you break it down into easy and digestible information packets, like Tom was able to help us do, it really took a lot of stress out of it, and it helped us communicate better with our college kid, our future college kid, to help them see, like, you don't want to discount a school just because of the price, because a private school has a lot more money to give than a public school typically, and we want to make the choice that's best for you. Financial piece is very important, but it's not the only piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, we definitely, I think, there's that initial sticker shock when you see the price, but understanding, and Tom telling us a lot of this, that there's a lot of opportunities out there. And, we didn't, at one stage, we never went to a school saying, well, we can't afford to go have our son or daughter go there, so we're not even going to look at it. We looked at all universities, and, because we really wanted them to understand what they were experiencing, what the school would be like, the classes, the college student life, and while cost is obviously a huge factor in a lot of that, it's not necessarily the one and only deciding factor. With our situation, if our son, daughter wanted to pick a college that was most expensive, we would then work, and figure out what we need to do. But it was, having those discussions with them. But there's also a lot of opportunities and options available, and it wasn't just the only factor. But it's definitely something that it is overwhelming. It is a big expense. But understanding and going through that process, I think that was one of the biggest things we got out of working with Tom, was the understanding that there's a lot of options available. There's merit aid, there's scholarships, there's loans, there's all kinds of things. And so when you see that initial cost, don't always say, oh my goodness, how are we going to be able to figure out to pay for this? There's options available.
I would say starting early is going to alleviate a lot of pressure down the road. It might be overwhelming, and it might feel like you're dragging your kid uphill. Maybe they're not ready to talk about it because they're scared and they don't want to talk about it. But there's ways that you can start this process very slowly, taking little baby steps. And for me, knowing that I was able to start taking care of some things, I didn't have to worry about that I'm going to have to do everything senior year, because senior year is, the fact that they were going to be seniors seemed so far away, but high school goes so quickly and kids grow up so quickly, and they have so much on their plate that you don't want college applications and choices and major life decisions to be something everyone's dreading. Like, it really turns out to be an exciting process, and it's something the whole family gets involved with. It's a major life change for everyone. So my advice would be to start as early as you can, because we did it that way. We're doing it again with our daughter. Like, it worked for us, and I know it would work for other people too, because having stress taken away is such a beautiful thing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, starting early was a huge benefit, and it also helped, being able to kind of slice it out and do a little bit at a time versus trying to, wait till the end and have to figure out, ACT planning. You're looking for your college, you're looking for the financial, all that at once. We're able to take it, slowly, bits and pieces. And I think the other thing is, just start the conversation. I think the best things that we did was having that first initial meeting where we just kind of, we did the survey, our son did the survey, daughter did the survey, and understanding what is it that they want, because obviously in the end, while it helps put a lot of pressure and stress off of us, it's, ultimately for our kids that it's really benefiting. And having that initial discussion and just kind of understanding, okay, here's what the plan is, and yeah, we don't have to worry about, because we did it early, we don't have to worry about this for a few months. This is the next year thing. This is something you might want to start thinking about. Just laying that plan out, it takes a lot of the stress out. And the earlier you start, the more time you have to kind of think through things and take them at your own speed versus, like I said, having to figure out everything at the last minute. Then a stressful situation becomes even more stressful.